Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. On today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how I recreated this dress, so make sure you don't skip any parts. I will also be showing you how you can cut the structure sleeve and how to use the chantley lace for the draping. So make sure you watch till the end and also give this video a thumbs up. Okay, I'm gonna head to mark out the basic line from the shoulder to the chest line, shoulder to bust point, shoulder to under bust, and shoulder to half length. I added half inch for same allowance. I've also marked half of her shoulder width. On the chest line, I will place quarter of her round bust measurements. On the half length line, I also mark quarter of her round waist. I'll add 1 inch for that intake. I'll roll it straight down. I will mark the basic neckline of 3 inches and neck depth of 3 inches. I will curve the neckline. After that, I will come down by 1 inch for front shoulder slant. I will slant it to the neck width. To curve the armhole, I will divide what I have here by 2. I will come in by ½ inch. After that, I'll curve the armhole the way you see me doing. On the bust point line, I'll be placing half of her nipple to nipple point measurement, which is 3.5 inches. After that, I will roll it straight down. I will divide what I have on the shoulder by 2. I'll connect it to the bust point. To tighten her under bust, I will be marking 0.75 on this center front side and 1 inch on this side. From the bust point line, I'll come down by ½ inch and I'll curve it the way you see me doing. The ½ inch I came down from the bust point is to eliminate the pointiness around the bust area. After curving it, I will roll that lace down. To determine her cup size, I will be coming up by 6.5 inches from the under bust and I will roll the line out. This line now is her over bust line. I'll be tightening the over bust line by ½ inch on both that line. After that, I will come up by ½ inch from the bust point line and I will curve the cup. For the sweetheart neckline, I'll be coming down by 1 inch from the over bust line and I will curve it the way you see me doing. You can make it deeper if you want. This 1 inch I used to tighten the over bust. I'll be sharing it into 2. If I divide the 1 inch by 2, I have half inch. So ½ inch will go to the armhole area. After placing the ½ inch on the armhole, I will reconnect it the way you see me doing. So the remaining ½ inch, I will use it to tighten the yoke. So the ½ inch, I share it into 2, which is 0.25 on the both sides. After that, I will slant it. So the ½ inch is to remove the excess that will prevent the yoke from relaxing well on the body. This will help the yoke to lay flat on the body. The actual neckline I'm using for this dress is 4 inches by width and 4.5 inches by depth. After that, I will reconnect the neckline. So I'm done with the drafting part. I'll go ahead and cut my pattern out. After cutting out my patterns, I'll be closing the dart on the yoke. So what you do is just to slash it open the way you see me doing and you match it like so. After merging it together, use your masking tape to secure it. Use a solo tape to tape it down. This is all I have for the front part. The next thing now is to cut the back part. I've already placed my measurement on the back part, the same thing I did on the front. I also mark my darts. So I will take my front yoke so that I can mark my back neckline as the 4 inches I took for the neckline, and the neck depth I mark 1.5. I'll mark ½ inch for back shoulder slant. After that, I'll connect the armhole. I'll mark half inch for that intake. I'll came down by ½ inch from the bust point, and I slanted my dart. I will be removing ½ inch for the back zipper bulge, and I will slant it back to the neck depth. After that, I'll go ahead and cut it out. For the yoke, I will just come down by 1 inch and I will create a hole to style it, and I will come up by 2 inches from the chest line. So you slant it from the armhole, from that 2 inches, slant it. That's how I want the shape of my yoke to be. So I'm going to transfer all the pattern to the fabric. I added ½ inch on this part, added 2.5 inches on this part, ½ inch on this side, ½ inch on the upper part, and ½ inch on the down part. I've also cut out my back part. This is the yoke. I've cut out my back and front yoke. For the back yoke, I added 1.5 inches zipper allowance. The same thing I did on the main fabric. This is because I will be extending my zip to the yoke. I did not add any sewing allowance on the neckline. I cut a skin net that I'll be using to turn the neckline. That's why you are seeing a skin net here. You can use any method to pipe the neckline. You can use bias to pipe the neckline, but I want it to have a neat finishing. So I'll go ahead now and use the skin net to turn the neckline on the front part. After that, I will attach it on the bustier. The main purpose of this tutorial is to show you how to drop the pattern and how to drape the chantley lace on the dress. I have several tutorials on my channel on how to sew a complete dress, so feel free to check other of my tutorials. So I've gone ahead to couple the dress together. Can you see that? This is what you should be having when you are done sewing it. So the next thing I'll be showing you now is how to drape the chantley lace. So you determine where you want the chantley lace to be bigger. So I'll be using the left hand. I'll be draping it on the right hand here. So to do that, I'll be coming up by 2 inches from the waistline. You came up by 2 inches, and from that 2 inches you measure where you want the chantley lace to stop. So for this particular person, I want the drape to stop at her hip line. After coming up by 2 inches from the waistline, you can just place your tape from the waistline to get your hip line. That's where the draping will stop. So I will multiply what I have here by 3 inches, depending on how full you want it. You also measure the width of the dress, and I will be adding extra 4 inches to it. The extra 4 inches is to prevent shortage of fabric, because after draping, the side tend to reduce. So this is the total of what I have after multiplying the length by 3. So before you start your draping, you make sure you fold the upper part and the down part. Just a tiny fold, don't make it too bulky. I've gone ahead to fold mine, and after folding it, I will go and make a loose stitch. Just make a gather stitch on this side. You can decide to pleat it, that is totally up to you. For me, I'll be running a loose stitch on this side. After stitching it, I will pull it, gather it up to the length you have on this side. After gathering it, I'll place it starting from above the waistline. I measure 2 inches above the waistline. That's where I place it. Can you see that? So I'll pin it down. After pinning it down, I will stitch it. I'll go and secure it with a stitch. After stitching it down, I will arrange it. This side will be smaller than this side, so I'll make sure I arrange it in such a way it will have that gathers. Please note that I have not torn my main dress with lining. You drape the chantley lace before turning it with your lining. After arranging it, I'll also pin it down. So before you cut it out, you make sure that the center side is not tight. The drape is supposed to drop when you wear it on your body. It's not supposed to be too tight. The total of what I have on this side is about 6 inches, and this side I have 11 inches in total. For this side, the drape started 2 inches above the waistline. The next thing is to use the lining to turn the dress. So I've also coupled the back part. I'll go ahead and attach my zipper. Can you see what I have? So after fixing my zipper, I will now show you how to cut the sleeve part. For the sleeve part, I'm gonna have to fold my fabric into two. For the width, I will be placing about 6 inches on this side. 6 inches unfold. If you unfold, you have 13 inches. My client said that she don't want her sleeve to drop too much. So if you want yours to drop, you can do more than 6 inches. For the length, I will measure down 6 inches. That's what I have here. So to get the angle shape, I'll be coming down by 1.5 inches from the top part. From the down part, I will also come up by 1.5 inches and I'll slant it towards the folded edge. Slant it the way you see me doing to get that angle shape. After slanting it, I have 6 inches on this side. I'm not adding any other allowance, and I have 3 inches on this side. Can you see? I'll be adding half inch that I'm using to sew it, making it 4 inches on this side. I will slant it back to the folded edge. I won't be adding any sewing allowance on this side. I'll go ahead and cut it out. The total width I have here is 8 inches, but I want it to be 6 inches in total because my client says she don't want hers to drop too much. So I will mark 6 inches and I'll add half inch for sewing allowance. That is 6.5 inches. Cut it out. After cutting it out, I will use this one to cut more 3 pieces. I want to be using the main fabric as my lining. After cutting it out, I'll use it to cut out my hardest gum stay. The hardest gum stay is what I want to use to add structure to the sleeve. You can use any other stiffener of your choice. For me, I cut out hardest gum stay for the main fabric, and I will be using soft gum stay on the lining. I reduced the hardest gum stay by half inch on the both sides so that it will not obstruct my stitching when I want to attach it on the main dress. I will repeat the same thing on the rest of the sleeve. Can you see the hardest gum stay on the main fabric? After ironing it on my fabric, it's now looking stiff. I use soft gum stay on the lining, the one that I'll use for my lining. So I'll place it right side to right side, the way you see me doing. I'll go and sew the down on the upper part. After sewing it round, I will bring it out from the side. So I'll do that and come back and show you what you have. This is what I have after I was done sewing it. So for this end now, I will be folding it a little. I'll fold it so that it will look neat. So if I measure what I have on this side, I have 3 inches. So I'll be making a little pleat on the center. This is optional. You can decide to leave it flat. For me, I'll be adding a pleat. So to attach it, I will spread my fabric out this way and I will place it the way you see me doing. I'll go and stitch it. You can use hand needle to tack it, but for me, I will be stitching it down. This is how it will look like when you turn it. So I'll first of all use a pin to hold it down. I pinned it half inch away from where I joined my sleeve. That's where I'll be stitching it down. So I'll turn it to the back part now, the way you see me doing, and I will sew it this way. Can you see? You go and stitch it. This is not hard. Also make a tiny pleat on the back. I will go and stitch it. If you don't want to stitch it, you can use hand needle to tack it. After stitching it down, I will also repeat the same thing on the other side of the sleeve. So I will go and finish everything off camera. If you find my video helpful, please do well to hit the subscribe button and make sure you turn on the notification bell so you get notified once I upload a new video.